Hi, Mr. Lopez. My name is Monique. I'm the nurse. I seen you earlier. I brought in your prescription for your abdominal pain. So I just wanted to make sure that I let you know to drink plenty of fluids and to take it easy for the next few days, since you've had some dehydration. Okay, so I also wanted to talk to you about what you told me earlier. Do you recall telling me that you sometimes felt isolated and sad because of your eating disorder?
Yeah. I mean, I do feel lonely at times. It's something I do want to stop with the whole eating disorder. I just don't know if I can right now.
Right. Okay. It takes a lot of courage for someone to bring up such a personal topic like this. So I commend you for that. That's really good that you're able to do that. So can you tell me a little bit more about your eating disorder?
Yeah, my stomach pain. I think it's because of it. Um, and I am getting worried about my mental health because it seems to be getting worse. I've noticed my stomach hurts more often now, and just feeling more irritable now. Um, and that's just what causes me to just want to be alone. I have a girlfriend and I do want to marry her and have kids. We've been together for almost 3 years, but I just been waiting to ask her because just this it's just gotten worse over the last year. I stopped having episodes and was pretty healthy probably like 4.5 years ago before I met her. But my dad came back into my life and it just kind of went downhill from there.
Hmm. See, it sounds like you really love your girlfriend and it's important to you to be healthy before you get married and you start a family. Is that right?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think so.
So, yeah, so that is a very selfless and admirable thing to do, to think about, them first. It seems like your bulimia symptoms have been affecting your relationship goals and your health, but it also sounds like family issues with your father may be involved. Is that right?
I think so. I think that's when it all kind of started again.
Right. Okay. So what are your goals regarding your bulimia and then your relationship with your father?
I'm not too sure. Um, I don't know if it's a healthy relationship for me right now or if I should just stay away. I am worried that it is affecting me in more ways than not.
Mm.
Um, I just don't know if it's a productive one for me. So, and I'm also worried, if I ever have kids later, that I don't want this to get passed on to them somehow, some way.
Mm. Yeah. Well, you have been successful before, and I think you've had a good chance. So you do have a good chance of doing that again since you've done it before. What do you think is your biggest hurdle to getting better at this point?
It's probably the stress. It really drains my motivation. I just don't feel as strong as I normally did back then. So to me, I think stress is probably the number one issue right now.
Okay. Stress does take a lot out of us. I'm sorry that you're dealing with that. So, um, yeah, that can be tough. What are some of the ways that you were able to stop your eating disorder in the past?
Um, I think a lot of it had to do with just being motivated to not only just have a relationship, but it just gave me just a bunch of clarity, I guess. I was also just eating healthier and staying away from the high sugar, the high salt, and the high fat foods. So that helped me control my intake quite a bit when I was in a good state of mind.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, good. That's really good. That is a really big accomplishment to be able to do that. Not a lot of people can do that. So that's really good. Um, so you're having, so let's kind of recap on what we've already talked about. Sounds like your abdominal pain and your feelings of agitation and your need to kind of isolate or avoid people might be coming from your bulimia symptoms. Do you think that's right?
Yeah.
Okay. And then you have had your bulimia return after it was gone for several years. You've had some confusing emotional feelings about your relationship with your father, so that kind of caused a little bit of stress. And then your bulimia symptoms are causing you to delay like your life plans and your relationship goals and things like that. Does that sound right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it does.
Okay. And then let's see what else. So how do you feel? So since you were able to cut back before, how do you feel about doing that again? Do you think that's something you could do again?
Yeah, that's something I can try. And, back in the day, I was doing a lot of meal prepping. So just chicken, rice, and vegetables, and at least knowing what I was going to eat for the rest of the week.
Okay.
So I'll probably do that. And then probably have to have a conversation with my dad too to get that figured out. And then just tell my girlfriend about this, because that whole being isolated and lonely, I probably should have something to talk to her about.
Okay. All right. So how do you feel about maybe coming back to discuss some of those things with us? Do you think that would be something that would be helpful for you?
Yeah, I think so. Whether it's you or somebody else, it's one of those things that I think I need to make it a top priority to get help with this. Okay. Maybe bring my girlfriend in or something like that, just to make sure that we can all be on the same page.
Okay. Okay, well that sounds good. So the cutting back on some of the junk foods and the sugar and the salt and fat. So we'll go ahead and do that. And then we're just going to go ahead and schedule you an appointment, a follow-up in the next few weeks, and just kind of check and see how you're doing and see if you want to kind of continue having conversations.
Perfect. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you.